Hello everyone, welcome back to the fourth and last video of our environmental sustainability videos with Kate and Nell. Today, we will be talking about hydroelectricity as it is one of the safest as well as efficient source of power that can be used. It is used widely in Papua New Guinea and we believe that it should be sustained and improved along with other renewable sources of energy all around the world.
Energy sources can be divided into segments. Number 1, renewable energy sources. Renewable energy sources are sources that can be replenished. These sources will not run out. There is an infinite amount to be used. Some examples are hydroelectrical energy, which will be talked about, solar energy, geothermal energy, wave energy, wind energy, and finally biomass energy. Number 2, non-renewable sources. Non-renewable sources are sources that are finite and will eventually run out as it is being used. For example, the nuclear energy, which is powered by nuclear fission of uranium or sometimes by fossil fuels. To create energy from water, first, the water used must be controlled, so dams are built and water is directed into tunnels in the dam. In this way, the force of the flowing water turns the turbines, which in turn moves the generator, which is a machine that generates power. Engineers control the amount of water that flow using a system called the intake system. When a lot of power is needed, more tunnels are opened, allowing the thousands of gallons of water till it flows through, and less power is needed. Tunnels are closed. The larger and faster the river is, the stronger the electrical current is. Hydroelectricity may be a wise choice in terms of having lower costs and using renewable resources, but there are still minor effects that it can have on the environment. Man-made dams block living organisms like fish from swimming upstream. Dams also flood riverbanks and kill out plants and organisms that need a marshy or wetland state of environment to survive. Wildlife birds are also affected by this state. The operation of the power plant will also raise the temperature of the water, causing wildlife to either adapt or migrate to other parts of the area. Operating hydropower plants like other power plants has limits or disadvantages. One main factor that affects the operation of these hydropower plants are the building of silt at the bottom of the reservoir bed. This happens when the dam blocks the natural path of sediments to their final destination, which may be a delta or the ending of the river where it meets the sea, called a river mouth. Most hydropower electricity companies use a system called siltation to clean the reservoir bed, which affects the process, allowing them to only generate power for 20 to 30 years only. The biggest benefit or advantage of using hydroelectricity is that it is renewable. Water recycles itself and it is safe to use since it is power generated from water, which means it does not contaminate the air. Not only is it a safe option, it is also a low-cost power system, and it is durable compared to other power plants. As long as there is flowing water, there is water. It doesn't need any other source. At times of drought, the hydropower plant will shut down for a period of time. This affects the power supply. The water is free, but the building of infrastructure is expensive. But compared to other power plants, infrastructure is also expensive for them. In Papua New Guinea, 10% or less of the population is connected to power provided for by the PNG Power Limited, of which most people live in urban areas. Those that live in rural areas are estimated at 3.7% with power supply. The government's vision for 2030 in regards to power is to have at least 70% of the population on the power grid. The lack of funding on infrastructure of power plants has caused a fast-paced deterioration of power supply services to the people of PNG. In PNG, only 40% of the total power supplied is generated by hydroelectricity, with three main suppliers: in the Gezel Peninsula, Port Moresby, and Ramu in Medan. Port Moresby has 4 stations of hydropower plants that contribute in supplying power. There is the 6.2 megawatts Rauna system, which is located alongside the Laloki River. There is the control water storage in the Sirinamu Reservoir, the 30 megawatts diesel and gas-powered turbine thermal at Moitaka, and the generator at Sirinamu Dam. The Ramu power station is fueled by the Ramu Hydropower Station. It has a 75 megawatt current, the 12 megawatt Pawanda Runoff River Station in Western Highlands that was purchased from a privately owned hydropower station in Borolo, Moraga. This also supplies the Ramu station with hydropower. The diesel power plants in Leh, Medang, Wabeg and Mendi also supply the Ramu power plant with standby options. The Warangoi hydro system in the Gezel Peninsula is powered at 10 megawatt by the Warangoi hydro plant and has 2 diesel plant facilities, an 8.4 megawatt plant in Ulagunan and a 0.5 megawatt plant in Kerevat. These following hydro systems work together to supply electricity to the 4 regions of Papua New Guinea. Hydroelectricity is mostly used in countries with large water systems, and it has proven to be a sustainable and reliable source of energy.
Thank you for watching, and to our subscribers, thank you so much for your participation on our journey. We wish you all the very best for the remaining months of 2021. Stay safe from COVID-19 and wear your mask and wash your hands.